What's up, you guys? My name is Aubrey and this is my channel, and today I want to talk about making money. And I'm going to be walking you guys through the process step by step on how to start making money in one of my all-time favorite side hustles. So if you're somebody who needs to make more money, whether it be for the holiday season, to help you pay your bills, or to simply help you save more money at the end of the month, then this video is for you. Because if you follow the steps that I outline in this video, I can almost guarantee you will make some money. Now, let's get started. Now, the OG subscribers on this YouTube channel will probably have a decent idea of what side gig I'm talking about, but if you are new to this channel, then welcome to the channel. Make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button. And if you're new to this channel, then what I'm going to be talking about today is freelancing. Now, what freelancing is it's basically just doing contract work for companies or people that need that contract work completed. But the thing that I think so many people don't understand with freelancing is that freelancing isn't just reserved for highly skilled and highly motivated individuals. In fact, with platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, and Freelancer, there are a million different ways that you can go about making money in the world of freelancing. And today I want to take you through the process of signing up and getting a job through the platform Upwork. Now, what Upwork is Upwork is a platform that connects you, the freelancer, with companies that need that freelancing work completed. And they facilitate the transaction and they connect you with these companies that need work done. Now, in the past, I was a freelancer with Upwork. In fact, whenever I was going through a particularly difficult financial time in 2018, I really leaned into Upwork as a way to help me pay my bills and get out of the financial hole that I was in. And ultimately, I accredit Upwork and I accredit freelancing and Upwork specifically as the reason why I was able to get out of the financial hole I was in and why I was able to ultimately flourish financially. So let's get started with digging into the platform and figuring out how to set up a Upwork profile. Now, here we are on Upwork.com, and I will include a link to this in the description down below. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click sign up right here in the upper right-hand column. You're going to want to click sign up, and from here, you are going to want to include your email address. So I will type in my email. It's then going to ask you if you want to go with a company email or if you're okay with going with like a Yahoo or a Gmail email. It doesn't matter at all. So if you just have like a Gmail or a Yahoo or AOL, whatever the case is, you can simply go with that email. You don't have to go with like a work specific one like they're insinuating. From here, you're going to complete your account and you need to include your first name, your last name. You're going to need to create a password. You're also going to have to select your country as well as what type of thing you're wanting to do. Or you want to hire somebody or do you want to work as a freelancer? And you would want to select work as a freelancer. Then you'll want to pick a username. So remember with the username that it is public, so you won't want it to be like some obscure username. You'll want it to be somewhat professional. So in my case, I'll just do Aubrey Janik YT. Then you're going to have to accept the terms of service, and then from there you can click create my account. They will then ask you to verify your email. So you'll then have to go into your email. You'll have to check your email and make sure that you get the verification code sent from you by Upwork. The next step is you'll have to create your profile. Now, your profile is super important in the world of freelancing because it's really the only way that potential companies or potential hirees, the only way that they know of who you are and what type of work you complete. So you want it to be professional, but you also don't have to worry about it super in detail. It's not like it's something that you have to live and die by. You can change and adjust it as time goes on, but you will want to make sure that you put some thought into what you put in your profile. So with that being said, you would want to click continue on this first page. Then you'll want to click start my profile. Then the first step of getting started is you'll have the option of either linking your LinkedIn or entering all your information manually. Now, if you don't have a LinkedIn profile, then that's fine. You can just manually enter stuff. If you have a LinkedIn profile and that LinkedIn profile is actually professionally built and you have information there, I think that it's a great idea to include it because it does add some validity to you and it kind of gives, I would say, hirees a peace of mind knowing that you're a real person with a profile that has existed for a while. So there definitely isn't a negative to linking your LinkedIn. I'm just going to go the route of filling out it manually for the purpose of this video. So I'm going to click out fill out manually. So the next part of creating a profile is getting your work experience and your expertise and selecting what you do and what are the main services that you offer. So for the sake of this video, we're pretending as if we have no background experience. So I am creating this from the perspective of somebody that's never heard of freelancing and that's never done it before. So because of that, I will want to select the kind of expertise that has the lowest barrier to entry, meaning the expertise that has a lot of job opportunities and they aren't difficult to get hired in. So I'm going to click admin support for the purpose of this video, but you can put really anything, and also keep in mind that this can be changed later on. So it's not like what you click now is what you're stuck with forever. So in this case, it says what type of admin support do you offer? Select up to 4 types. I'm going to want to click data entry, personal and virtual assistance, transcription, as well as other. Those are the 4 that I recommend because none of those require a whole lot of skill, and all of those are types of jobs that if you're wanting to actually complete the work, if you have a decent work ethic, you're going to be able to complete all of these jobs really well, regardless of your background experience. What skills do you offer your clients? Again, if you're making this from the perspective of somebody that has never done freelancing before and that doesn't have really any specific skill sets, I would just base your expertise and your skill sets off of things that you do in your day-to-day life. So again, we're building this from the perspective of somebody that's never freelanced before. So you'd want to choose some really broad, all-encompassing terms, not very niche and very specific skill sets. Now, if you have very specific and very niche skill sets, go with that. But if you're somebody that has never done this before and you don't really have any skill sets, then I would just stick to very broad ones that are very all-encompassing, things like writing, organization, typing, things like that. Once you have typed in your skill sets, once you've completed all of these fields, you'll want to hit next. Next, you want to say, what is your level of experience? Now, again, you can always move this as you progress in the world of freelancing. I would encourage you to, of course, start out as entry level if you've never done this before. So you'll want to click that and then you'll hit next. Next is your education. Now, unfortunately, Upwork requires you to put something for education. I typically don't advise for people to put education if they didn't graduate from college, because I think going to some college almost looks worse than not going to any college. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong on that. But with that, you have to put some sort of education. So I didn't graduate from college, so I'm going to put my high school graduation. Once you're done, you'll just simply click next, and then you will click next once again. Next is your past work experience. I would say that this is one of the most important aspects of your Upwork profile, and I would encourage you to over embellish, because the chances of somebody fact checking your Upwork profile is very, very, very slim. So whenever you go about adding your employment, I would keep it vague, but I would also try to fluff it up as much as possible. That's just my opinion. I'm a big believer of faking it till you make it, and I certainly did this whenever I was filling out my own Upwork profile back in 2018. Keep in mind that only add relevant employment. If you worked for a sandwich shop in your freshman year of high school and you're currently applying for social media marketing jobs on Upwork, you probably don't need to include the fact that you worked for a sandwich shop 10 years ago. So only add relevant job experience and only add recent job experience. If you have a job that you worked for 15, 20 years ago, you don't need to put that on your Upwork profile. I would say keep it relevant and maybe only go like 5 to 10 years out for the sake of your Upwork profile. So the next step of the process is adding how proficient you are in English. So you would want to decide either basic, conversational, fluent, or native. I'm a native English speaker, but that's the only language I speak, so I'm just going to leave it at English. But if you speak other languages, you would of course want to add those, and you would want to make sure to add your proficiency in those languages as well. Once you do that, you'll just simply click next. The next thing that you'll need to do is to set your hourly rate. Now, this is super important because of the fact that your hourly rate will really dictate more than anything else which jobs you will get. Now, there are companies out there and people out there that are hiring freelancers, and they want an affordable freelancer, and they don't really care at what they have to sacrifice in order to get that affordable freelancer. They don't want to hire somebody for $20 an hour. They want to hire that $8 per hour person. And they know that with $8, they're getting more of a basic level of experience. So in the case of starting your hourly rate, especially whenever you're first starting off, I would say get it as low as you feel comfortable with. For me personally, whenever I was getting started, I set it to $10 per hour. That meant after Upwork took their cut, I was making about $8 per hour. This is, in my opinion, I think super competitive. And if you feel comfortable going even lower than that, I would advise that you do that. So once you start gaining some traction on the platform, once you get some jobs under your belt, even just a couple of them, you can start raising your price pretty quickly from then on out. So I would say the goal is to get between 3 and 5 jobs at this like bare minimum price point. Then once you maybe get 5 jobs under your belt, you can raise that pay rate to maybe $12 an hour or $14 an hour and then increase it from there. So once you set your price, you'll simply want to click next. Okay, so the next step is to do your title and overview. And this is essentially just like a snippet of who you are, what type of jobs you complete, and also like a brief statement of what you do. So in this instance, I just put admin support as the title. Of course, if you're applying for a different sector of jobs, you would want to do something different there. But in this case, I'm just going to put admin support. Then you want to do a professional overview. Now, as you can see, there is 5,000 available characters that you can use for this. So you can, of course, add more information than I did. You can keep it short and to the point like I did. You really need to just kind of stick to, I would say, what your style is. But if you're interested in just taking my exact verbiage that I have here, I will include that in the description below with like fill in the blank style so that you can fill in your own information. But what I wrote was, my name is Aubrey Janik. I'm a freelancer based in Dallas, Texas, with 5 years of experience in admin support. I have experience in data entry, transcription, and virtual assistant work, and I have a proven track record of meeting deadlines without the need to be micromanaged. My results speak for themselves, and if you are interested in learning more about me and my experience, I would love to connect. So again, I will include that in the description below, but once you do that, you'll want to click next. So the next step is you'll have to add your profile picture. So again, similar to kind of the theme that we've been following this entire video, make sure that the picture is a professional one. It doesn't have to be you in a suit and tie. I mean, I wear jackets and t-shirts in every one of my videos, and I do in all my meetings as well. But you want to make sure that you're not like wearing a bikini, that you're not shirtless, things like that. So you want to make sure that it's a presentable photo and one where you look relatively nice and also truthful to what you actually look like. You want it to be a real photo, not like a graphic of some random person or random thing. So once you upload your photo, you'll want to click next. So the next step is you'll have to verify your identity in order to help foster a trusted marketplace. This is a standard procedure for Upwork. And as a result, you will have to share your address and you'll have to share where you're located. So you will want to enter your address. So in this case, I will enter mine. And then once you hit next, you'll then have to enter your phone number as well. Once you enter your number, Upwork will send you a verification code and you'll then type in that code and click next. Then it will tell you that your profile has been verified. And then from there, you can look at your profile in real time and you can see what your profile looks like. So you can see here that once you take a look at your profile, you can see like where you can adjust things by clicking these pen icons. And so from there, you can adjust your profile, you can adjust your skills. If you take on new skills, you can adjust your employment history, things like that. So you'll just simply click on that little pen icon that's right there. So then you're going to simply click submit profile once you verified all the information is accurate. And so that's it for the profile creation process. It's super easy, super straight to the point, and super straightforward. So the next step in this entire process is getting your first job. And that is where things become a little bit more difficult, but not that much more difficult. So what you're gonna wanna do is, I advise that if you're somebody who's never freelanced before, and this is exactly how I got started, I would get started with data entry jobs. Data entry jobs are very easy. They are very kind of no-brainer, and it'll give you a really good idea on how Upwork works. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to search jobs and just simply type in data entry. Now what data entry is it's very literally entering data. It's like entering data from one website to an Excel spreadsheet. It's sometimes like gathering data from emails. It can come in a wide variety of different fashions, but it literally is just entering data. And so if we type in data entry here, you'll see a number of different options. You can see this data entry clerk, you can see customer care representative, you can see create fillable Google Docs and Google Slides. You can basically see a kind of a variety of different job openings from virtual assistants and so much more. Because of the fact that we're brand new to Upwork, what I'm looking for is kind of that low level, cheap job. I just want a job under my belt, and the money that I make from that job is just kind of a bonus. But at this point, you're really just wanting to validate yourself as a freelancer. You're not necessarily wanting to make a ton of money at this point because you want to solidify yourself first. And that may take a few days, but you will make money in the process as well. So it may take a few minutes of searching to find that kind of good, cheap job that would be perfect for your first Upwork job. But something like this would be perfect. You know, data entry, entering homeowners' information into the database, generate a proposal, and copy and paste to Google Slide. I mean, this is for the most part really straightforward, and anything that you don't know how to do, you can always ask the person who made the job posting what exactly they want, what exactly they need. And things like data entry, Google Slides, and creating proposals, all of these things are things that can easily be Googled, and that way you can figure out how to go about doing it. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to apply to this job, and I'm going to show you the application process. So what I'm going to do is I am going to click submit a proposal. Whenever you're submitting your proposal, the first step is to do your rate. I would encourage you to stick to your regular profile rate. If you really want to get the job for the sake of having it under your belt, you could even go a little bit below, like you could do $9 an hour. I'll do $9 for the sake of this example. And then from here, you're going to want to submit a cover letter. Now, a cover letter is going to be very similar to what we did earlier. Just a very basic, straight into the point paragraph telling the person you're applying for, telling them who you are, what you do, and some of your experience level. So for example, for my cover letter, I wrote, my name is Aubrey and I'm a freelancer based out of Dallas, Texas. I have experience in data entry as well as Google Slides, and I believe I would be a perfect fit for this freelance position. I can complete any task in a timely manner without the need to be micromanaged. I would love to discuss these details further. Thank you, Aubrey. Whenever I was freelancing, this is the exact formula of a cover letter that I would use, just super straight and simple and to the point. And then I would copy and paste it and change some of the small finer details depending on what type of job I was applying for. So this worked really well. And once you kind of get on a roll, you can just copy and paste the same one over and over again. It makes it so that you can apply to a bunch of different jobs with relatively low time commitment. And if you apply to 5 jobs using this type of technique, chances are you'll get a callback to at least 2 to 3 of those. And so overall, I would say the success rate is pretty solid. And then once you're done, you'll simply click submit a proposal. Now, once you submit a proposal, it's up to the person that you're applying for the job for to decide whether or not they want to interview you. Sometimes whenever you submit a proposal, they will respond right away and they'll offer you the job. Sometimes they'll want to have a phone conversation with you and kind of interview you first. Sometimes they'll want to exchange messages back and forth and then they'll give you the job. It really does depend from job to job. But typically kind of the cheaper, lower level jobs out there, the quicker you'll get hired. If somebody's looking for long-term help, typically they will take you through a more traditional interview process. They'll want to talk to you multiple times. They'll want to see your work. They want to see your resume. But in the case of these data entry jobs where they're just looking for somebody quickly to fill a spot, they really don't care. And they'll hire anybody that shows any sort of initiative of receiving that job and getting offered a position with the job. So with Upwork, it really is a matter of just applying for multiple jobs that you're actually qualified for. In this case, in the case of somebody who's never done freelancing before, that doesn't have a whole lot of experience, I would find the jobs exactly like what we just applied for. Low level, low paying, low barrier to entry jobs that pay between, $8 and $11 per hour. And once you gain experience, you can then start going after those more long-term, higher paying jobs. And at some point later on down the road, it's not unrealistic to expect to get paid between $20 and $30 per hour. I really do think that if you're persistent in Upwork, if you follow the steps that I outlined in this video, you will make money doing freelancing. It's just a matter of putting effort into it, putting time into it, and being dedicated to it. But it absolutely can be an extremely lucrative side hustle, especially if you're willing to work at it. But with that being said, you guys, these are the exact steps that you need to follow in order to get started on Upwork. It's the exact steps that I followed whenever I started freelancing, and I started freelancing back in 2018 with 0 experience. And by the time I was done with my freelancing career, I was making anywhere from $20 to $25, in some cases $30 per hour doing social media marketing. But I would love to hear your thoughts, so make sure to leave a comment down below. And while you guys are at it, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video.